Alright, we're going to make some pancakes and coffee. I got my pancake mix. I'm going to add some water to that. Mix it up. Get most of the lumps out of it. You don't want lumpy pancakes. It won't cook even. Alright. Be right back. Okay. I think I got the right mixture here. Not too thick, not too liquidy. Ready to go. I had to add a little more pancake mix because I added too much water. So we're going to set that aside. And I'm going to set up my coffee pot now. With just the right amount of water. I'm right about there with the water, I think, on the Heineken pot. I'm going to set my base in there, and I'm going to add some coffee grounds to my percolator here. Usually helps if I put the base in before I do that, so they don't all come tumbling out the bottom. Okay, usually about 2 to 3 teaspoons is plenty. I'm only making 1 cup here, so you don't want too much. Alright, good. And it always gets a little grounds through it. It's not a perfect setup, but I've added some holes to my percolator here on the top of here, and what I really think this thing needed, and I'll show you in just a second here. Well, I also think it has too much water, so I'm going to drink a little of that. Water. Perfect. I added some holes to the top of my percolator. Here, there, and there. And now this is outside the percolator pot, so the percolator pot seals here, and the holes are outside of it. And the reason I added those is because whenever I'd boil in here, steam would come out and pop the lid off of this thing. So I think this will help keep it from popping steam out of this area right here. We're going to find out. This is the first modification I've made to this in a while. So we've got our coffee ready to percolate. Oops. Get it centered up on the bongo. And I've got my let's see here. I've got my simmer ring here. Comes in 2 sizes. I can put that on top of the bongo for a large simmer ring, or I can put that on top of the bongo for a very small simmer ring. So that's my multiple size simmer ring that I made for the bongo stove. But we're going to start it off on full blast. I've got on this one my 1 egg wonder skillet, and I have a simmer ring for the Moab on the squirrel cage. The Moab gives us a pretty decent whole size thing, and it can tend to burn your pancakes really quick, so I've created a soda can bottom simmer ring to add to that, and I usually put that on once I get that going as well. So we're going to add some fuel to both of these stoves just until we see them glisten on the top. They'll actually sucks back out a lot. We'll do the same on the bongo stove, which I don't have as much light on, so it's hard to see. In fact, I'm going to cheat and take that off so I can see when it is ready to go. I actually need to replace my felt in my bongo. It has shrunk down. I've used it so much. After cooking on the felt, the carbon felt, it tends to shrink the felt, and you have to replace it after time. I've replaced my bongo felt already once, so it needs to be replaced again. I'm going to light the Moab, come over here and light the bongo, You can see both of them give off a decent flame there. The bongo, I'm using a 8-ounce bottle on. It's just the one I keep with that one. And the Moab, I use a smaller bottle on. It's a 4-ounce bottle. I think this is actually a 3-ounce bottle. I have a larger one, but I don't use it all the time. So, the bongo, I want to stay at full flame for a little while until I see some percolation. But in the circumstance of the 1 egg wonder here, you don't want to get too much heat. It does have the base that helps spread the heat out, but you don't want to get too much heat on that before you put anything in there. So I'll let it go for just a second when I put the pancake mix in. But then I'm going to immediately probably cut it down a little bit. So let's add some of that in there. Get ourselves a nice size pancake here. Alright. And we'll let that start to go a little bit, and then we'll put our simmer ring on there so that it doesn't burn the bottom of the pancake. I may have that a little thick still, but I think it'll work just fine. So we're going to let that cook. I got some syrup here in my, I guess it is a 4-ounce, because this is a 4-ounce syrup bottle, so it's a 4-ounce as well. I got my 2 simmer rings ready to go. This is my case for my bongo. It's actually a gum case, and it works as a screw-on or as a pop-open, so it's kind of a nice little thing. I also keep an extra lip guard on here. Although I don't use these lip guards as much as I could, I tend to use this lip guard here. It's a much larger lip guard. It actually is a Dell battery power pack wrap to keep your cords and stuff wound up. And I'm going to go ahead and put this on here because that's already bubbling, and I think we're going to be a little hot if we don't put that on soon here. I'll show you a top view of what's going on with that pancake. I think we'll be able to get 2 pancakes in before the coffee's even ready. And those bubbles are just perfectly popping, and what we're looking for is we're looking for those bubbles to pop and then not seal back up. That's when you know your pancake's ready to flip. Once they pop and the bubbles don't reseal, and you'll see here those 2 will probably seal back up. It'll take a second. But once they seal back up, that means there's still moisture in there. We want to get it nice and fluffy, and once it stops sealing back up, that means you're nice and fluffy on the inside. So that's what we're looking for. I'm going to go ahead and put the camera back down here. We should be able to get 2 pancakes in before the coffee's done, because the coffee takes a little while. I'm going to clean off my spoon here a little bit, just knock some of the excess mixture off. Hopefully none of it flew on the camera and hit you guys in the face. And once we get that all cleaned off, we're going to be able to flip a pancake with the spork side. Now, I think I've done a video before with this, and I know this spork is not the best tool to be flipping pancakes with. It just doesn't work really well, and this plastic is not the best plastic to deal with heat. So you have to be pretty quick about it or you'll melt your plastic. In fact, I think it was this one that I use that has little melted pieces just on the edge there, where it tends to melt really quick. So this is not the perfect tool for flipping pancakes. I have a Gaiu spatula. I just don't know where it's at right now. It's probably in my backpack, and I didn't feel like going through that to find it. Just going to take a top look here, and I want to show you what I meant by them not sealing back up. You can see those holes are staying solid. They're not sealing back up. That tells me the inside is ready to go. And the bottom is probably a nice toasty brown. Let's go ahead and flip it and take a look at it once we flip it and see how it looks. I'm going to stand up here so I don't make a mess of this. I'm going to get my spatula in here, and I'm my spork in here. Take this up. I'm going to raise it off so I don't mess up. Oh, and that looks perfect. Look at the brown on that. That is just perfect timing. Couldn't have been better. And I'm going to go ahead and pan back here. And let's see if we have any percolation on that coffee. Now I made a full pot of coffee there. I actually said to there, and I ended up having to drink a little of that water out of there because my percolator pot comes down to almost here. So there's not much more than, I'd say, 12, maybe 16 ounces of, well, 16 ounces is right here. So probably about 12 ounces of water. So it's a good 1 cup of water, but no more. I mean, 1 cup of coffee we're making here, not more than that. This is definitely a 1-person percolation for coffee. And like I said, what we're going to do is we're probably going to get 2 pancakes out of here before we see our coffee even start to percolate, which would be perfect because then our pancake will be done right about the same time. Our pancakes will be done right about the time our coffee is done. And I did move this down. I don't know if I told you that, but I put that simmer ring on there. That brings it down a lot. So the heat distribution is pretty good on this little 1 egg wonder. And I've actually taken the handle off here. I don't know. I think I had a video about why I did that. This actually will work on the bongo with the three prongs with the handle taken off, because the center of weight is now closer to center. With the handle on there, you could never use it on the bongo. You would have had to have used the squirrel cage. And probably everybody's asking, what's this little modification right here on the front of the squirrel cage? It's a personal modification that I did for one of Tenny's auto feed fuel things that I had sticking off the side to kind of balance the top of it out with that, and I let me hang the bottle off to the side. You'll have to watch one of my other videos to see how that all worked. It's out there somewhere. It was a rather interesting design that I came up with on top of Tenny's design. It never really panned out, so I just went back to the filling it with the fuel bottle, and I just never took that off. It could be taken off, obviously, but I just will have a hole in my base if I ever overfill the fuel. Now this is the hard part, knowing when the second side of the pancake is done. That is pretty much a guessing game. You let them go for a while and then you just pull them out. Once you break that seal with the bottom of the pancake, the liquefied part of the bottom of the pancake, once you break that seal, you're not going to cook much more after that. So you got to give it time, let it go, and hope you're hitting it at the right time. I don't know why I'm filling up my Moab here. I guess I just feel like I need it to because I filled my other one, my bongo. The Moab tends to have enough fuel to cook for a long time. It's such a large base. I don't have any percolation yet, but I do hear a simmer. So that means we're getting close to percolation. And we're going to see. I'm really excited to see if the steam is still going to come out of the top edge of the percolator, or if the holes I made in there are going to allow that steam to come out of the holes. I'm going to go ahead and see how my first pancake is here. I'm going to bring it out so you guys can see as well. When I go to flip it, what it looks like. Oh, that looks perfect. So one pancake down. I'm going to set it off to the side here on my lid. I can use that as my plate to eat out of. I'm going to put this back on and put my second pancake in and hope for the same result on my second pancake. Alright, I've got a little more in here. I'm going to try and make this actually a little thicker just because I have so much in there and I don't want to waste it. So we'll see how that turns out. And like I said, usually I can get 2 pancakes in the time it takes to make a cup of coffee. So we shall see here if that holds true today. Granted, I am indoors, not outdoors. I don't have to put up any windscreens because I am indoors. And obviously if I was outdoors, I'd be doing this a little further apart and I'd have windscreens. The reason I'm using the stone at the bottom is because the base of these units can transfer a lot of heat down, even though the gasket seal rubber part there is separating the top from the bottom. A lot of heat still transfers down into this bottom, and I'm on a wood kitchen table which I've already pretty much scarred up in the past and don't want to get myself in more trouble. Alright, I got some syrup ready to go, and I've got one ready to go here. Boy, does that look good. I'm going to break it open here for you so you can see how good that looks. Man, that looks good. I think I'm going to eat that while I'm waiting for the next one. Just take a little piece here. Whoops, excuse me. And I'm just going to crack open my syrup here. Some real maple syrup. Just give that a try. Oh, that is so good. Still warm. Oh yeah, I'm glad I didn't wait for it to cool off. That is delicious. My son is sitting here. So do you want a bite? He definitely. You want some syrup on yours? He definitely wants a bite. He's been staring at me making this. Oh, look at that. I'm making a mess. There you go. You can have that half. I should do it over my plate. That way I don't make as much of a mess. I didn't drip any syrup on the camera, did I? Nope.
No.
Alright, so we're percolating over here. I'm going to raise the camera up to show you that. So that's good. And the second pancake's not quite there yet. I made it a little thicker, but you can see the bubbles are sealing. So we're going to watch this and see. And the steam, I think it is. I don't know if you can see that in the video, but the steam is coming out of those holes I made rather than spilling over the side. At least that's how it appears. Now,
I see it over the side.
Right there, it seems to be coming over the side, but no liquid's pouring out the side. Where before, I'd get so much steam that it actually would spit over and run down the side. That's partially why my fiberglass wrap looks so dirty. It's because coffee kept spilling out of the thing. But this, so far, has stopped it. Now, percolation has also slowed down, so we're going to have to see if I'm releasing too much pressure. I don't know. Maybe releasing too much pressure and the percolation won't work anymore. It was percolating pretty good at first. It's still trying. We're going to let it go a little bit. It might not be hot enough yet. Oh, I think I see the problem, and I'll set the camera down and you'll see it as well. The fuel started to run out a little bit there, which slowed the temperature down, and when that happened, obviously it stopped percolating. Now we're back to percolating. Okay, so it just ran out of fuel. It didn't have any problems there. And let's look at our pancake. Bubbles are, well, I'll wait till the bubble pops here. I don't see any popping right now.
See one right there. The very edge.
And maybe it could use more fuel, I don't know.
Oh, there goes one. It's sealed.
And they're still sealing. So we're going to wait and see if they...
That one right there.
Yeah, that'll probably be done right about the same time the coffee's done.
That one right there is not sealed.
That one on the edge, no. It's little ones, you kind of watch for the big ones. You want to get a couple of them that don't seal. And once you have a couple that don't seal, then you know you're good. Every once in a while you'll find one by itself that just won't seal. And that one by itself really isn't enough of a proof positive. We're looking for our... What are you doing, licking the syrup off the table?
Yeah.
Alright.
It was right.
We're definitely percolating now good. And the nice part about having that real glass top on there, and it's hard to see with the camera, but you can see the color of your coffee. You can see how much percolation is going on, how dark it's getting. So you can tell just from looking at it where it stands. And that is actually a glass replacement for a standard coffee pot. And I just screwed it into the top of this, well, it's a wedding tin is what they call those. I just screwed it into the top of it. And I'll show you the parts. I mean, I think I've showed them in another video, but I'll show them to you again when I'm done here. And you can really see that steam just coming out those holes. That is so perfect. It's coming out, I mean, it's coming out like little jets coming out of those holes. And it's not blowing over the sides or anything, which is where I had most of my problems last time, is it would blow over the sides. Better not to forget to pay attention to my pancake here. Oh yeah, we've got some holes that are not sealing, but that one just sealed. So we're going to give it a little bit longer. I don't want to let it burn, because a burnt pancake is never a good pancake. Let's see how our flame's doing down there. We got a pretty low flame.
Oh yeah, they're sealed.
Oh, when I put it down, I propped all the bubbles, and, well, none of them sealed. So we're going to go ahead and try and flip it. It looks like it's, usually you don't want to touch it, because if you touch it, it pops all the bubbles on the time you touch it. So, but they're not sealing, and it looks pretty fluffy on the inside. So we're going to go ahead and try and flip. It's going to be difficult, but we're going to flip it anyway. Before I flip though, I want to just check my feel here. I don't want my coffee to die off on me again. I think it's okay. Like I said, I need to replace that carbon felt in there. Ooh, be careful. Started to pour too much and then almost went over the edge. Alright, the toughest part of making a pancake and the one egg wonder is the flip, because there's no room for error. Think we're ready? Alright, I'm going to pull it out. Get my pancake underneath there. And flip.
Oh,
look at that.
Again.
A perfect pancake every time. Set that back on there. Oops, get it nice and level. Let it go. I think when that's done, I think the coffee will be done too. The coffee's looking a little on the brown side, which is how I like it. I'm just going to let it run the course here. And we will have ourselves some delicious coffee and pancakes. Well, I'll have coffee and pancakes, and my son will have pancakes because he doesn't get to drink any of the coffee. So, we got a 20-minute video here. Hopefully no one got too bored. We're just having a little fun. Whoa, and that's what I was hoping didn't happen. Oh well.
Oh, it's pulling out the holes.
It's pulling out the holes?
Yeah, one of them. It's only pulling out on this side.
So, settle it down a little bit by blowing the...
Yeah, I think when you almost...
So we kind of hoped that didn't happen, but what happened was it did boil out the hole, but it also, I could see it blowing out the side a little bit and ran down the side of the hot. So I was hoping I kind of fixed that, but I guess I didn't totally fix it.
It smells good.
It was doing pretty good until that last second though. I wonder why it finally just boiled over.
I think when you put to that...
I wonder if the coffee grounds were starting to clog it up inside there. They start to expand in there. We'll have to wait and see when we open it. Well, I'm going to go ahead and get my plate ready. That's not quite ready yet, but I am going to take the coffee off because that coffee is done. Now, it's hard to put that out. I should have put the simmer ring on there earlier. I had forgotten to put my simmer ring on there. If I had put that simmer ring on there, I think that would have been a better temperature and wouldn't have necessarily boiled over. The nice thing about the simmer ring is I can put the stove out a lot quicker.
There we go.
And once you have that on there, if you get it before it's too hot, you can put it out really quick. And that's out now. So I'm going to just back that up a little bit. And set this up here. And I don't think my pancake's ready just yet, but we're going to go ahead and probably check it out and see here. Let the coffee sit for just a second. That way all the grounds allow the water to drain back down. This is probably too soon, but we're going to check anyway. Oh, it came free pretty good. Oh, not bad, not bad. Could have gone a minute more, but not bad. So we're going to take that out of there, put it on the plate, blow out the stove so it's not wasting all that fuel, and we're going to get ourselves... We could drink right out of here. I usually do. I usually take this out. Ooh, it gets hot though. I usually take this out, and I set it on something, but I don't know if I want to set it in there just yet.
Oh, that's true.
That wasn't good. It isn't supposed to come apart like that. I forgot to put the O-ring on the inside. So what that means is a lot of my grounds are now in my coffee. Alright, well we'll just have to make... Usually I put an O-ring on the inside, which lets this whole piece come up with it. And it didn't come up with it because I only had the O-rings on the bottom and not on the inside.
All her grains went in with it.
So now I'm going to have some very heavy grounds in this coffee. I'm going to pour it into a white cup.
Or a clear one.
Do I have a clear cup? I don't think I do.
I think we do.
I'm going to pour it into a white cup. It's a coffee cup so I can see how much grounds are in there. I'm going to pour a little on the slow side just to see what comes through.
So far I haven't seen anything.
Tends to leave the grounds in the bottom too, so I'll get a good idea. I'm guessing they all fell out when I pulled it up like that.
Yeah.
So there's a full cup of coffee, and you know what? Yeah, there's a lot of grounds in there. Oh well, next time I'll remember to put my O-ring on the inside of this here. If I put the O-ring on the inside, it makes a whole lot of difference because there's two O-rings there. One should have been on the inside and one should have been on the outside. And what that does is it holds that pot. When I pull that handle up, it pulls the whole thing up and the grounds stay inside. Oh well, here's to some delicious pancakes, some delicious coffee. We'll talk to you guys later.